the heart of Wisconsin. Valley Sports Wisconsin, the heart of the fan.
Off we go in Arizona. Spring training, game number 7 for the Brewers. It's brought to you by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. It's the Milwaukee Brewers back at American Family Fields of Phoenix taking on the Texas Rangers. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Arizona with Vinny Rotino and Sophia Minner. Jeff Levering with you. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. And Vinny, we talked about the rule changes and all the differences along Major League Baseball. One of the great things, we're going to get to see everybody this year with the new balanced schedule.
Yeah, balanced schedule, another rule change here. And the idea here is that it's going to be a little bit more fair with those 3 wild cards now. So every team is going to have to play everybody. And last year that impacted the Milwaukee Brewers because the Philadelphia Phillies ended up playing the Washington Nationals 19 times, 16-3 against them. So it's a little bit more fair for everybody. Also going to be able to see all the different players in the league. We're going to get a chance to see Shohei Ohtani this year, a generational talent, so that'll be fun for the fans too.
Yeah, everybody in Major League Baseball gets to see the Angels at home with Ohtani and Trout and those guys every other year at their home ballparks. You know, one thing that the Brewers have going for them, great starting pitching, and it's going to be the calling card for 2023 again.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is a run prevention team. You know, look at this starting staff that the Brewers are going to be rolling out there. They signed Wade Miley. He was a 5.5-win pitcher in 2021. They also have Adrian Hauser at the back end, so those two will be battling it out for that 5th spot. But look, this team can pitch. They can prevent runs from scoring, and they just have to stay healthy. 250 days on the IL for this group last year. In 2021, 15 days on the IL. So that is a big deal for this team to stay healthy. But if they do, watch out. The Brewers have a really good chance to make it back to the playoffs.
Corbin Burns took every turn in the rotation last year, led the National League in strikeouts. He takes them out for the first time in Arizona. That is coming up next, right here from American Family Fields of Phoenix. Presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Let's play by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Cousins Subs. We believe in better. Making our way back home to American Family Field in Milwaukee. Not too far in the distant future. Brewers open up against the New York Mets at home. Of course, a little trip to Wrigley Field, and potentially this year's opening day starter Corbin Burns makes his first start of the spring. And for more on that, let's bring in Sophia Minner.
Hey, Jeff and Vinny. Yeah, hard to believe opening day is just 4 weeks from today. Corbin Burns is making his first Cactus League appearance of the season. He's scheduled to go 2 innings today, and he's got the new Brewers catcher, William Contreras, behind the plate for him today. So that's going to be a good relationship to watch as those two start working together in games. And the goal, of course, is just for them to continue working on their familiarity, the communication, and making sure they're all on the same page. And Corbin Burns, what a year he put together last year. Doubled down on his Cy Young Award season from 2021. Was even better. He reached the 200-inning milestone for the first time, set career highs with 12 wins, 33 starts, reached over 200 innings again, and led the National League in strikeouts, 243 overall for him. And so for Corbin, he's looking to continue to build off of that success, and he's one of the first starters that we're seeing here in game action, and that's all by design. And it goes back to a number of conversations in the offseason between Craig Counsell, Chris Hook, Walker McKinven, and the pitching staff, and they just go over the season and what worked, what didn't work for them, the attainable goals that they want to set for the following season. And then you start with opening day, of course, and you start to work backwards in terms of the workload that these guys need to get them ready for opening day. And these plans are all tailored to them individually. Now, this group has been together for a number of years. Of course, they're building off of great experience. They know their bodies. They know their arms. They know exactly what they need to get ready. So guys like Corbin Burns, Freddie Peralta, Brandon Woodruff, we're going to see Freddie and Brandon on the mound here very soon. Freddie Peralta is scheduled to pitch Saturday. Brandon Woodruff will follow on Sunday. So for these guys, they know what they have to do. They've been getting their work in with bullpens, live BPs, simulated games. It's all very tailored to what they need. But it's going to be fun to see Corbin Burns here on the mound for his 2 innings today.
Thank you so much, Sophia. Starting to see the sun poke through for the first time today, and a lot of rain overnight here in the Valley of the Sun. You take a look at the new Rangers manager, Bruce Bochy, 3-time World Series winner with the San Francisco Giants, hasn't managed in the big leagues since 2019. inherits a pretty impressive club. They've spent a lot of money over the last couple of years. This season, really putting some resources into the pitching. Take a look at his starting lineup. It's brought to you by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Bubba Thompson, Josh Smith, and Joe McCarthy up at the top of the lineup. Mitch Garver, the former Twin, he is doing the catching and in the 4th spot. Brad Miller, former Brewer, he's at first. Clint Frazier doing the DHing today, spent last year with the Cubs. Travis Jankowski, the former Brewer. Mark Mathias bats 8th at second base. Ezekiel Duran trying to win a spot on this opening day roster as a utility player. Here is at third base and batting 9th. I mean, if you're starting an organization, it's so nice to have that veteran presence like Bruce Bochy, some of the guys that are coming over to Texas trying to win in a tough division. Bruce Bochy kind of dealing on himself, betting on himself, coming back into Major League Baseball.
Yeah, you saw the trend a little bit over the last few years of a lot of teams going to that younger manager, an inexperienced manager, but Texas going with the veteran manager, the guy with a long tenure in Bruce Bochy. I mean, he's going to head to the Hall of Fame. He's got 3 World Series titles despite the overall losing record that he does have as a manager. But this guy knows how to get the most out of guys. He's a player's manager. They love playing for him. So, you know, at the end of the day, they just have to pitch better, and they went out. And like you said, Jeff, they spent the resources to do so.
Jacob deGrom coming over from the Mets. He was the big ticket item. Nathan Eovaldi coming over from the Boston Red Sox. Andrew Heaney and Jake Odorizzi retooling the entire starting rotation for Texas. As you take a look at Corbin Burns, who was the workhorse for Craig Counsell last year, Vinny.
I mean, we're talking about a guy that was first in all of baseball in starts. He took the ball 33 times, 4th in innings pitched at 202 innings pitched. 144 hits given up. Guys only hit 197. That was 5th in all of baseball, 2nd in strikeouts. I mean, the resume is unbelievable. If you had to nitpick, you'd say, you know, the 23 home runs that he did give up was 15th most in all of baseball. But Corbin Burns, this guy is nasty. He's got 5 pitches plus or better. He throws 95-mile-an-hour cutters. He can command it to wherever he wants in the zone. He's such a pleasure to watch. Glad he's a Brewer, and this is going to be fun to watch here in his first spring training outing.
Defense behind Corbin Burns today.
Lining them up, we have Blake Perkins in left, Sky Bolton center, Tyler Naquin playing right field, trying to win a spot. Around the infield, we're going Brian Anderson at third, Willie Adames playing short, Abraham Toro at second base, Rowdy Tellez at first, and William Contreras pairing with Corbin Burns today behind the plate.
Brian Anderson, who hit a home run in his last game that he played a couple of days ago here at American Family Fields of Phoenix against the Chicago Cubs. Feels like he's going to get a good amount of time at third base. Could see a little bit of time in the outfield, too. Right field, a little bit of a question mark with Tyrone Taylor being sent back home to Milwaukee to have his elbow looked at a little bit more. Some moving pieces and what could be that opening day roster for the Milwaukee Brewers. See Corbin Burns right there. He's typing in the potential pitch that he wants to throw with William Contreras. It looks like he's going to try and call his own game today, Vinny.
Yeah, I mean, he's got multiple pitches, and you want him to be, you know, working crisply, fast, good tempo.
Base hit bunt opportunity. Bare hand pickup. Anderson, and he throws him out. Not an easy play for Brian Anderson right into the chute. 1 pitch, 1 away.
Wow, what a play by Brian Anderson right there, bare-handing this bunt from Bubba Thompson, the 2nd fastest player in all of baseball according to StatCast. Corbin Burns, the only one faster, and bang bang at first base. Nice play by Anderson there.
Here's Josh Smith, and there's strike 1 from Corbin Burns. Smith in the cold temperatures, 50 degrees at game time, no batting gloves. You'll love to see it.
Not me. I would not do that.
Swing and a miss. Brad Miller, who is hitting in the 5 spot, he's a no batting gloves guy too.
Couple no batting gloves guys. Never understood that. Swear the batting gloves, but.
And a swing and a miss. And Corbin Burns establishing his cutter early. He strikes out Josh Smith.
Such an important pitch for Corbin Burns is that backdoor cutter. William Contreras is going to learned that real fast, that is his bread and butter against left-handed hitters. It's a very hard pitch to square up. It's a very hard pitch to even pull the trigger on at 95, 96 miles an hour.
Joe McCarthy making the start in right field today as Burns misses the strike zone for the first time. It's an interesting relationship to watch with Corbin Burns and William Contreras working together in a game for the first time.
Yeah, such an important thing for Corbin Burns to get on that same page with his catcher, because again, he does have those 5 pitches in 2 different locations for most of those pitches, inside and outside. So William Contreras is going to have to learn that quickly, what he likes to go to.
Oh, and he's calling his own game. Corbin Burns, he said, this is what I want to do. That's a pretty good indication. All right, I'm going to learn this real fast.
Yeah. Well, especially with the pitch clock.
1-2 coming, and a swing and a miss. He went to the curveball, and Corbin Burns, a quick, easy 8-pitch first inning. Brewers coming up when we return. Burns the top half as Craig Counsell and the Brewers go to work on offense. A couple extra layers on today with the cloud cover and the rain yesterday. Unseasonably cool in Phoenix. Starting lineup brought to you by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Yelich, Adames, and Tellez up at the top. Contreras, Naquin, and Anderson in the middle with Toro, Bolt, and Perkins. All switch hitters down to the bottom. Here's Yelich, and he sends one out towards left. Backing up. Thompson still back, and Yelich has gone deep. Started the game on Tuesday with a ringing double on the first pitch. He goes deep here on Thursday.
And aggressive early in the count, too. Like you said, Jeff, that double a couple of days ago was aggressive early in the count. Jumping on a fastball. Does the same thing right here against Dane Dunning. A fastball, little sinking action towards the top of the zone, and Yelich does not miss it. What a swing right there. That's what we saw a ton from him back in 2018 and 2019. He drives it out of here.
A couple of days ago, there was significant breeze blowing out. Flags are essentially limp in left center as Adames takes a hook for strike 1.
Good to see Yelich with some loud contact here early on in spring.
Brewers have had a knack in that leadoff spot going back to the Ricky Weeks era. Even Carlos Gomez, immediate thunder at the top of the lineup. Speaking of thunder, Adames 31 home runs a year ago, single season franchise record for the Brewers. Looking to build on that. I don't know how he can, but he's going to try.
He's been unbelievable for the Brewers ever since he came over from Tampa.
Swings and misses at the off-speed pitch from Dunning, and he's down on strikes for the first out of the inning. Speaking of Dunning, this is Dane. You're number 3 in Texas.
Yeah, Dane Dunning was a big part of their rotation last year before they signed all of these arms. 153 in the 3rd innings. He has that 4.46 ERA, punched out 137. He's not going to overpower you. He's got deception to his delivery. He's got good extension at release. But he's a guy that's just going to try and keep you off balance a little bit and try and use that deception. Came over in the Lance Lynn deal a couple of years ago from the White Sox.
Former first-round pick of the Washington Nationals back in 2016 out of Florida. He's been a part of some pretty impressive rotations over his career, going back to his time at Florida. Went from the Nationals to the White Sox in the Adam Eaton deal. That was for Lucas Giolito and Reynaldo Lopez. Ground ball to the right side. That's Mathias, who takes care of his former teammate for out number 2. And then last year, as you mentioned, in the Lance Lynn deal.
Yeah, you know, he's a guy that's been traded a couple of times. I think just because he had Tommy John at one point, but I think he just never thought that, you know, he's probably going to throw a little bit harder. He never really has. He's been that 90-93 guy. But again, he just gets outs, he pitches, he works the ball to different quadrants in the zone. He's a good guy to have for the Rangers, possibly making the team as a long man or a back-end rotation starter.
William Contreras hits 20 homers a year ago with Atlanta. All out of the stretch. Dunning evens the count. Texas spending a ton of money in the free agent market to get some pitching help. Re-signing Martin Perez to go along with DeGrom, Eovaldi, Heaney, and Odorizzi. Dunning is that 6th, maybe 7th starter, swing guy out of the bullpen.
$191 million payroll, $156 million committed to 7 guys, including those 5 starters.
Bullet back up the middle for William Contreras. Extends the inning.
Well, the Brewers love to just get a ton of that kind of contact from William Contreras. Just hard contact. This guy is as strong as they come. Just getting on top of that right there, driving it right back up the middle. Talking about a well-built human being right there, William Contreras.
Tyler Naquin now. Vinny mentioning as we were going through the defense that Naquin's got a decent shot to make this club out of camp. Right field is a question mark at the moment because of the Tyrone Taylor injury. Naquin right in the middle of that conversation.
Yeah, when you talk to the Brewers coaching staff and some of the guys over there, you're talking about a guy in Naquin that is a grinder. He's a baseball player. He plays the game the right way. Long MLB veteran. This is a guy that the Brewers are really taking a long look at to make this club.
2-1 on Naquin. The one thing the Brewers have a ton of, it's left-handed hitting outfielders. They don't have anybody who hits from the right side in the outfield group at the moment. Plays well at home. Early on in the season, not a lot of home dates.
Yeah, we have seen Keston Hira play out there in the corners a little bit. Perhaps that could be an option as a right-handed bat, but Naquin and Brian Anderson, guy that's going to play out there some. But this Naquin's a guy that's hit right-handed pitching a ton in his career.
3-1 to him, and a bullet that's caught by Mark Mathias. Hit it on the screws, but an atom ball ends the inning. Christian Yelich, first pitch of the bottom of the first inning, deposits it into the berm and left. His first of the spring. It's 1-0 Brew Crew.
1-0 Brewers. Make Sunday the highlight of your week with the Sunday Fun Day Bundle, featuring 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas, and a parking pass for just $59. Get your Sunday Fun Day Bundle now at brewers.com/funday.
Excellent job on that read, Vinny.
Thank you very much, Jeff. I've been working on it ever since a couple of days ago. I thought I botched a couple.
That's how you spent the off day yesterday, reading promos. Fly ball, shallow center, easy play for Bolt. 1 pitch, 1 out in this second inning. Let's bring in Sophia Minner, who's down on the field and talking about Corbin Burns and the pitch com that he's using on the glove.
Yeah, he said that was something that he was using in his last bullpen, that he said he just wanted to try, and he said it has nothing to do with how the catcher is going to call the game, and he still feels the catcher will call the majority of the games, whether it's William Contreras like it is today or Victor Caratini. But he said for him, it's more so about having the control that with the pitch clock of having 15 seconds in between pitches or 20 seconds with runners on. He said if it's a certain situation or a certain count and I know that I want to throw a certain pitch, I can just put that into the pitch comm system. Then he and the catcher don't need to engage in some back and forth. He said for the most part, they're always on the same page, but if he feels strongly about a certain pitch in a certain situation, he wants the ability to do so. So he was experimenting with that in his bullpen, and we were talking about that with Craig Counsell this morning a couple of days ago when they played the Kansas City Royals. Zach Greinke was doing the same thing, but Craig said it was kind of funny because the pitch comm system isn't as easy to use as what you may think. So Greinke was trying to push the button to call his pitches, but was shaking himself off because he didn't like the pitches that he was calling for himself. So he said it does take some practice. It was a little comical at the time, and you can afford to do that in a spring training game, but it's going to take some practice for these guys to get used to it. So I'll be curious to get Corbin's feedback on it.
Yeah, good stuff, Sophie. And that, as a Zach Greinke guy, you wouldn't be surprised to see him shaking himself off.
It's only a Zach Greinke type of a thing that could happen.
Corbin Burns here.
Pick that up for me, Rowdy.
2 great teammates. Here you go, Rowdy. I'm just going to drop this. Pick it up.
It's like a mic drop almost.
Oh, yeah. Clint Frazier's the hitter. And he takes ball 1. The thing about Corbin Burnes, where he has the pitch comp too, and we saw that with Max Scherzer, he's got it on the glove over the top of his hand. Whereas Greinke the other day, he had it on the back of his belt, which I could understand where you'd get a little confused of what buttons you're pushing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit far away to hit the right button as well, so that makes more sense to have it on your glove. I love the pace that Corbin is working at right now. And that's part of it, having, you know, that ability to call his own game with the pitch comp. But at first I thought, you know, the pitch clock was going to probably affect a Corbin Burnes in the fact that he is kind of a max effort type of a guy with his delivery. But my goodness, this is a really good look as far as how uncomfortable he's making these hitters.
Uncomfortable enough when he has as much time as he wants. Now that you're kind of up against it time-wise, imagine how uncomfortable these hitters are.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, these hitters, I mean, he's coming at you with that nasty stuff, and it's relentless. He's not slowing down. It's attack mode.
Miss somewhere. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So Frazier was feeling uncomfortable, used his 1 timeout already. And a fly ball out towards right center. Bolt got a good jump on it, makes the catch in the gap. The inning is over. Another 3 up and 3 down inning. A little more work for Corbin. Used 10 pitches in that second.
1-0 Brewers in the bottom of the second. Get on board this season with a Brewers ticket plan featuring 10-game, 20-game, or full season plans. Choose the one that's right for you, and we'll hook you up with exclusive benefits. Learn more at brewers.com/ticket plans.
Didn't expect to use sweatshirts down here in Arizona, but for some, got 3 or 4 different layers on. Vinny, how many layers you got going?
I got long underwear on, and then I got 3 layers on top.
But pants over the long underwear.
Correct.
Just saying.
Correct.
Let's just clarify.
And a space heater.
And a space heater. Anderson fouls that one off of the home plate umpire, Matt Brown. You said you had 4 layers up top?
4 layers up top, including the blue-ish shirt that we have from Bally.
And getting Matt Brown right on the mask. Blue-ish.
Yeah.
Check swing, and he went, says the first base umpire.
Not so sure about that one. Let's take a look. It always looks like they go a little bit farther here from this side angle. I'm saying no, but I'm a hitter. I'm saying no.
I think you're right. Spring training for everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Abraham.
Oh, Dane Dunning showing that cutter right there. Cutter slider thing.
Abraham Toro's been swinging the bat well recently. 3-run home run in Tuesday's game. Mashed a double yesterday against the Angels in Tempe. This is a couple of days ago against the Cubs. The only pitch he saw in the game.
Up and in, 98-mile-an-hour fastball right there, and he just turned on it with a nice short compact swing.
Routine ground ball on 2 hops to Mark Mathias. 2 quick outs in the second. Bolt making the start in center field this afternoon. Takes strike 1. Brewers yesterday got a taste of Devin Williams on the mound. 3 up and 3 down with a howling wind coming in off the buttes.
Some nice plays in center field by Garrett Mitchell in that inning for Devin Williams. But talk about Devin Williams' changeup. It's not quite as effective here in this thin air here. He talks about that at times, just getting the feel for that pitch.
There's strike 3 called. Quick and easy inning for Dane Dunning. A couple of strikeouts, and 1, 2, 3 go the Brewers. Brewers top half of inning number 3. Well, next Friday, celebration of women's most influential, Wisconsin's most influential women in sports continues, including a special look at our very own Sophia Minnaert and Lisa Byington. Wisconsin Women of Influence Part 2, presented by UW Credit Union. It's coming up next Friday at 5 on Bally Sports Wisconsin. Sophia Minnaert, Broadcaster of the Year in 2022 in the state of Wisconsin, and Lisa Byington, Emmy Award winner for Outstanding Play-by-Play Bucks broadcaster, among other things.
Very talented couple of ladies there.
Very, very, very lucky. Here's Sophia hanging out, staying warm. Some conversations about whether or not sunglasses were okay. At least the sun is out, so that's an option. Earlier, when the cloud cover was there, no sunglasses required.
You go sunglasses up here in the booth every once in a while, Jeff?
It depends.
Yeah.
Sometimes. But we're always in the shade up here in the booth as Jankowski takes a 4-pitch walk from Corbin Burns, who's out there for a third inning. Simply just his pitch count was only at 19 coming into the frame.
Yeah, he mowed through the first 6 batters for the Texas Rangers so quickly. They sent him out for another just to get some more work in.
See the arsenal for Corbin Burns, percentage with which he throws them and the velocities. You know, one thing that I think you might see a little bit more of this year, that cutter is such a big pitch for him, but he started to use that 2-seam fastball a little bit more late in the season. That is a dynamite combination.
Such a weapon for him when he has that in his back pocket. Hitters starting to look for that cutter, and all of a sudden he jams that 97-mile-an-hour 2-seamer either in on a righty or away from a lefty. Very difficult to cover both.
1-0 to Mark Mathias is a strike, first strike of the inning for Burns. Mathias, who went to Texas in the Matt Bush trade. He and Antoine Kelly going to the Rangers.
Yeah, ended up hitting 5 home runs for the Rangers in that look last year that they had him.
Jankowski takes off, ground ball hit to third. Anderson freezes Jankowski, throw across the diamond in plenty of time.
Play by Brian Anderson there, made a couple of nice plays. That's a more difficult play than it looks, having to back up a little bit, take a step to your right. Anytime you have to go to your right when you're playing on the right side of the infield, even if it's just a step, that's a little bit more difficult than these guys make it look. Going to your right step, now he's got to get his momentum going back to first base. Again, he makes it look so easy, but that's a difficult play.
Ezekiel Duran, the hitter, laid on that cutter for strike 1. That's where that outstanding throwing arm comes into play. You look at this left side of the infield for the Brewers with Adames and Anderson. You'd be hard-pressed to find 2 better arms in Major League Baseball.
No, I mean, really, Brian Anderson, I believe StatCast has him at #1 in all of baseball for arm strength. Throwing the ball 99 miles an hour, and that's from right field. But now you put him over at third, and then talking about Willie's cannon that he's got. You said it, Jeff. They got a couple of great arms there.
And Luis Urias now is going to play a lot of second base. Some really good throwing arms from the infield position. 0-2. Gets away from Contreras, and up to third goes Jankowski.
You see Burns working a little bit more on that curveball already in this outing. And why not, right? He knows the cutter's there. He knows the slider's such an important pitch for him, especially against righties. And all of a sudden he's throwing that curveball more in this outing just to get the feel for it. That changeup a bunch too last year to lefties. It was devastating at times.
Infield up, and this one shot through the middle by Duran to drive in a run and tie the game. So the walk turns into a run, and that's going to be it for Corbin Burns. Craig Counsell getting that pitch count up. Over 30 for Burns. And we will see a new pitcher for the Crew. It's Tyler Herb coming in. 1-1 game in Phoenix. Well, Corbin Burns, Vinny, he was outstanding in his first spring start.
Really crisp, looked great, had that backdoor cutter working the lefties, had the curveball working as well. Got through 2 innings, 6 batters, and just 18 pitches, so he went back out for this third. And now comes in Herb.
Tyler Herb delivers a ground ball. It's off the glove of Adames, goes to second, and they get the force out there on Ezekiel Duran. Smash hit by Bubba Thompson. Ends up as a fielder's choice. Good day's work for Corbin Burns. And at this point of spring, it's mostly about the up and downs, right? How many times can you get back out of the mound after you go into the dugout and sit?
Yeah, just got to get back into the swing of things, get stretched out, make sure your pitch count is there, and then, like you said, Jeff, those up and downs to be able to go deeper into games to start the season.
Josh Smith at the plate, takes a ball, snap throw to first, not in time. You see the arm from William Contreras on the back pick. That's Tyler Herb. Last year in the Brewers organization for the first time.
Yeah, there's a couple different stops with the Brewers. You see the numbers there, 4.03 ERA and 125 innings, 124 punch-outs. He had a little bit more success in Biloxi than he did in Nashville. It's a guy that made a bunch of starts for the Brewers in the minor leagues last year, made 20 starts in total. He was involved in the Yastrzemski deal from the Giants to the Orioles. This was the name that the Orioles got back for Yastrzemski.
One disengagement already. There goes Thompson. It's outside, throw from the knees, and Adames couldn't hold on to the throw. You see that speed from Bubba Thompson.
Yeah, we talked about it. The second fastest guy in all of baseball in Bubba Thompson, had 18 stolen bases last year, only caught 3 times. How fast he is, gets to his top speed extremely quickly, those long strides. It's a first rounder for the Rangers back in 2018.
Super athlete, former football player who played quarterback but was more of a running quarterback, was not allowed to throw.
Yeah, exceptional athlete from Mobile, Alabama. I beg your pardon, he was a 2017 first rounder, the 26th overall pick for the Rangers that year.
Smith takes a strike. You look at Texas left field, feels like it's a little bit more solidified now after the addition of Robbie Grossman on a minor league deal. But Smith, Bubba Thompson, Duran, they're all kind of in the running to help out in left. Really one of the few jobs that's available for Texas.
Yeah, unfortunately for Thompson, you know, Robbie Grossman really did a nice job against left-handed pitching last year, so it's probably going to be the majority of his starts, and Bubba also a right-handed hitter, so but he'll definitely be in that mix for that 4th outfielder spot.
Smith takes low and draws a 2-out walk from Herb. The Brewers, the first 2 guys they're running out there, the all-hair team. Corbin's flow and now Herb's flow. Wonder if they share hair care tips.
Probably, yeah. I mean, why not?
Shampoo, conditioner, mix and match. It's like Corbin even took a little bit off the salad.
Yeah, he cut it, trimmed it up a little bit.
Curveball is called for a ball. Pretty good pitch on Joe McCarthy.
That qualifies as mullet? No.
I think we'd have to judge what's underneath his cap. That's definitely workout man bun territory, though. You got to put that thing up for when you're working out.
You go man bun or ponytail?
Probably man bun.
You're a man bun guy. Got it, Jeff.
That's just where I'd lean on it. 2-1. Personal preference, of course.
Yeah. Good looking sinker from Herb at 91, 92 miles an hour. He's got to be able to locate that pitch in order to be effective.
Missed outside that time. 3-1 on McCarthy. 3-1 coming back. And it's a bullet back up the middle off the glove of Adames. And get a run home as Thompson scores. Headed to third is Smith. Run scoring single by Joe McCarthy.
Hard hit ball right back up the middle against Herb right here. Last year that would have been someone who would have been standing there for the out with the shift rules, but really just not able to get to that one right there. Too hard a hit. Right location.
Mitch Garver now with an opportunity. Fly to center against Corbin Burns. 2 hits, 2 runs in the inning for Texas, and a check swing ground ball. PFPs. Tellez feeds Herb. The inning is over. Rangers with 2, strand 2. Home half of the third on the way. Valley Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin. By Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. And by your local Chevy dealer. Brewers royalty from the past. The kid in the igniter. Ready to go in the bottom of the third inning. Brewers trailing the Rangers 2-1. Blake Perkins set to lead it off against Dane Dunning. Takes ball 1 outside, and Sophia has the former Cy Young Award
Corbin,
winner with
thanks so much for joining us here. And such a quick first inning for you in your first appearance. You had to go out there for the third inning. Overall, just over 30 pitches for you. How'd you feel just the first time out?
It was good. You know, the first 2 innings felt really good. So good that we need to get back out there, get our pitch count up. And then, yeah, the 4-pitch walk, and obviously after that, we didn't like what happened there. But, yeah, for the most part, able to get out here for the first time and kind of get used to the pitch clock, the pitch calm a little bit. But overall, yeah, it was good.
Tell us a little bit about that. You're using the pitch comm system like you did last year, and you're working a little bit on maybe calling some of your own pitches. How does that play into the new pace with the pitch clock as well?
Yeah, it's just to avoid any complications with the pitch clock running out. You know, if with no one on base, you shake a couple times, you're going to get backed up against the clock. So it's more about trying to eliminate shakes and just going right to it. And then if I really feel something, I can give a sign. But for the most part, you know, William's still going to be calling the game. This is just a way to avoid any violations.
How different does the pace feel for you?
Not that different. You know, I think the biggest difference is you see hitters get into the box really quick. But then, I mean, I think everyone wants a quicker pace game. You know, you've seen all these games all spring that are 2 to 2.5 hours, so it's great. It's more time that we can be home with our family, which I think we all enjoy. But yeah, I think the pitch clock's definitely going to speed up the games. And after a few weeks here, I was going to get used to it, and it'll be natural.
We'll be ready to go by opening day. And you mentioned William Contreras. Tell me a little bit about how that's going, getting to know William and having him behind the plate for you.
Yeah, it's good. He's caught me a bunch of times as far as you know, bullpens, live VPs, now in the game. So it's just continuing to build that relationship. You know, I've thrown to Victor and Omar the last couple of years, so this is just another guy just to kind of build that relationship with as far as getting into game planning and pitch calling and that kind of stuff. I think that's always the most difficult part of learning a new catcher, and for him having to learn all of us as pitchers. So it definitely takes some time for him to get to know everyone, but it's been good so far in the camp.
Phenomenal year for you last year, career highs and starts and innings, of course, leading the National League in strikeouts as well. Corbin, how do you continue to push yourself and continue to improve and build upon what you've already established in these last couple of seasons?
Yeah, I feel like there's always ways to get better. You know, for me, it's always health. If I can be out there, you know, every 5 days competing for this team, that's give them the best chance to win. That's what I want to do. So for me, it's always the main key is health, and then there's always areas of the game that I can improve on. For me, it's always the mental side of it. I always feel like I can continue to grow there, and the pitching obviously goes along with that.
Last one for you. Your son Carter is celebrating his first birthday today. What's been the highlight for you in your first year as a dad?
Oh, it's been awesome. It adds another layer to our life. It's great to come home every day, and he's got no idea what's going on outside of his little world. So it's awesome. It's awesome that we get to be around him, see him grow up. He's a happy little kid, and just loves his mom, loves his dad. So it's been awesome, and yeah, his first birthday today. So I'm going home to celebrate.
Any cake?
I don't know. We'll see. I know my wife is going to bake a cake. So I don't know if she's doing that today. I think we're having a little birthday party with family this weekend, so I'm sure she's pulling out all the stops.
All right, Corbin, thanks so much for the time. The Burnses have a birthday party to get to. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Sophie and Corbin. You got to have 2 cakes, though. One to eat and then one to smash on that first birthday, right?
Oh, yeah. That's the fun part about that first one. Yeah.
Smash cake. I think they both turn into smash cakes, don't they?
Yeah. I smash cake. I love cake.
Yeah, it's so good. We're not in your eating window yet, Vinny. Another 10 minutes. Ball popped away. Adama stays put at first base. Tellez, who bounced out to second his first time up. And in that first year, you master the diaper change, right? You could do one with one hand as soon as you get comfortable with it. I'm sure Corbin's like blindfolded, one hand behind his back, no problem.
No problem at all, yeah. And then you have a second and third kid, and then you figure out how to juggle a couple of those diapers. But yeah,
that's right.
Anyway.
2-0 on Tellez. 2-1.
Just talking about Corbin Burns and the ability just to go so deep with his inning count last year. 202 innings. That was the most he has thrown in his professional baseball career. He just did a great job. 167 innings the year before. In 2021, man, he surpassed that and then some. A great job by him.
Craig Counsell has done a really good job with his pitchers, and the era of starters going the distance, it's almost long gone. There's only a handful of pitchers that will go 8 innings in a start or 7 innings each and every time out, right?
Yeah, you know, in talking about Counts, he just has such a good feel as to when to let a guy keep going or when he needs to start following a little bit of the game script that he's got with those bullpen arms that he does have. Still figuring that piece out a little bit, I think, this year, but certainly in years past.
Swing and a miss by Rowdy, and Dane Dunning with 3 innings. He struck out 5. We head to the 4th. Rangers up by 1.
2-1 here. Rangers leading the Brewers. Tickets to every can't-miss game, including opening day, are on sale now. Get seats for the marquee matchups, plus the season's giveaways and theme and community nights. Secure yours now at brewers.com/tickets.
New pitcher on for the Brewers. It's left-hander Robert Gasser. Vinny, I know you're looking forward to seeing Robert pitch on the big league mound for the first time.
Yeah, the big piece in the Josh Hader deal last year. Pitched 3 different levels last year. 27 starts, 137 innings pitched, only gave up 126 hits, 52 walks, 172 punch-outs last year, gave up 11 home runs, opponents hitting 245 off him. But you said it, Jeff, I am really looking forward to seeing this kid pitch. He's got a great arm from the left side of the mound.
Works from that third base side of the rubber, and ball 1 on Brad Miller. He's going to face 2 left-handers in this lineup. And you know, if there's one thing that the Brewers are lacking a little bit of, is left-handers in the bullpen. They only have 1 right now in Hobie Milner, and something to think about as you move forward. How does that translate to the regular season?
Yeah, and you take a look at a kid like Gasser, and maybe he could mix in at some point this year as they break him into the major leagues. But I'm sure they're gonna develop him as a starter. They're gonna continue to deploy him as a starter at that AAA level, and he's real depth for them as a starting pitcher.
There's a low strike. Brad Miller tossed the bat to the side. He's going to have to hurry to beat the clock now.
Didn't think of that, actually. Whoops.
I think
got to go run and get it.
Yeah, home plate umpire gave him a little bit of grace. Didn't immediately start the clock. Miller to center. Bolt back, still back. It's over his head. Extra bases for Brad Miller as he puts on the brakes at second.
Yeah, Brad Miller jumping on a 3-1 fastball here from Gasser. This guy has really struggled against left-handed pitching recently in Brad Miller, but puts a charge into this fastball from Gasser over Sky Bolt's head in center field.
Brings up Clint Frazier. Gasser, who was a draft selection in the second round just a couple of years ago by the Padres. Started his collegiate career at New Mexico, then ended up at Houston. Originally from Northern California. Swing and a miss.
Got that slider cutter. That looked like more like a cutter at 88 miles an hour, perhaps a new pitch. But last year he was rolling out a fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. So changeup there.
That's got some nasty down and out movement to it.
Looks like he's got all the weapons pitching from that third base side of the rubber.
Not sure where that one missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's a guy who's been all the way up to 96 miles an hour in the minor leagues today pitching. Typically you do hear that he pitches more at 92, 94 range. But talking about some kind of athlete, the way he's moving through this delivery.
Got Frazier there. Went to the slider. First strikeout for Gasser.
There's that slider that I was talking about. Kind of got that lateral movement, little depth to it, little downward movement as well, but that looked like it had a lot of sweep to it. Good pitch by Gasser.
Think about his arsenal, and it feels a little like the Eric Lauer arsenal now with that cutter slider combination.
It's a good call.
Paints the outside edge on Jankowski. Walked and scored back in the third. Because those two pitches, while they're pretty similar, coming out of the hand, I mean, for a hitter, almost impossible to pick one up from the other.
Yeah, it's talking. Nowadays, you talk about tunneling. You know, having everything come out that same window from the release point, and then it moves all different directions with different levels of movement to it. So that's going to be so important for Gasser. The Brewers have done a great job developing that with all their pitchers.
How does anybody hit anymore?
I don't know. Thank goodness I'm not playing anymore. But yeah, it's they go into the lab and they figure out ways to deceive hitters with the tunneling and having everything look the same out of the hand. It's so impressive what these guys can do now.
Got the high strike on Jankowski. Gasser shot through the organization last year. Had never pitched above A ball. And then as soon as the Brewers got him from San Diego, immediately sent him to Double-A Biloxi. Finished the year in Nashville. This one shot towards left. And a diving catch almost. No catch made. The glove popped off of Perkins. Even though the ball was in the glove fell off his hand.
What is that? He catches this ball, drops the glove, but the ball doesn't come out. But since the glove came off?
Glove would have to stay engaged with your hand.
Okay. I learned that's the second rule I just learned in the last 2 days. The other one was the ball that got caught in
the chest protector.
In the chest protector is a balk. No, it's not.
Not technically a balk. It's just a dead ball free base.
Okay.
They've ruled out a base hit. Miller did not advance from second base.
It was a heck of an effort right there by Blake Perkins.
Mathias dumps one into shallow left. That's going to get a run home for Texas. Runner will go to third. It's now 3-1. Mathias with his first hit of the afternoon. Runners are on the corners for Duran. Technically a lodged ball is what that is when it got stuck in the chest protector. Chris Hook is going to make his way out and chat with Gasser. 17 pitches into this top of the fourth inning and only one away.
Yeah, Gasser hung that changeup right there to Mathias, able to drive it into left field, but it looks a little bit amped up. Not too bad, but a little bit. I mean, he's still commanding his pitches well enough. Stuff not going his way so far, but stuff looks crisp. I'm sure that's what Chris Hook is telling him right now. Hey, just settle down. It's no different Same game. All the cliches.
Just slowing it down. Let's go back to that play in left for Perkins, right? So he makes the catch, but then the glove pops off of his hand. The baseball stayed in the glove, but that glove was disengaged from his hand.
Calling it a hit, I guess.
Yep.
I've never seen that.
Duran swings and misses. Delivered the first RBI of the game for the Rangers in the third. Base hit.
Duran coming over in the Joey Gallo deal a couple of years ago over to the Yankees. Same with Josh Smith. It's a good looking changeup right there that Duran does not offer at.
Back up the middle, base hit number 2 for Duran. Drives in another run. He's got a nice approach at the plate.
Short compact swing right there from Ezekiel Duran. Struggled a little bit at the big league level last year. Really hit in AAA. Right back up the middle. Short compact. Geared for contact right there.
Hit .302 in AAA last year with 16 home runs, did Duran. No action in the Brewers bullpen. 2 on, only 1 out for Bubba Thompson. The fastball command from Gasser just not there in this half inning.
Overthrown perhaps a little bit, especially on that last one. It's easy to do, especially get knocked around a little bit. First big league spring training.
Very high and outside. That was a changeup that got away from him.
You start to rush a little bit, start to try and do a little bit too much, throw a little bit harder. It's easy to get out of your delivery. Saw that those last 2 pitches from Gasser.
Three-0 on Thompson. That's the one thing about the pitch clock, where if you need to slow the game down, you don't have the opportunity to just take a half a beat around the mound and take a breath.
That's right. Good thing for Gasser, he was used to this pitch clock last year, all in the minor leagues, but not easy to do in your first big league spring training for sure. Trying to make an impression.
Cutter to Thompson. 3-2. And just 23 years old, Robert Gasser. Won't turn 24 until the last day of May. Action in the bullpen for Milwaukee. Shallow center. Adames out and over the shoulder makes the catch. 2 gone in the 4th.
Hard fastball right there from Gasser, getting in on the hands of Bubba Thompson. He worked him on the inside part of the plate for most of that AB and then jams a fastball in. Short swing from Thompson, just couldn't get there with the barrel, pops out.
Smith up for the 3rd time. Walking a strikeout for Smith. Playing shortstop today. One and one. Gasser just having a tough time getting ahead of some of these hitters.
Yeah, it's going to be very important for Gasser to be able to get all of his pitches over for strikes, be able to command everything. That's going to be the last thing he's got to finish off with his development.
Chance to get out of this with just the 2 runs coming across.
See Chris Hook there. If anyone's going to be able to get to him and help him with his development, it's going to be that guy right there. Just what a track record he has had during his tenure for the Brewers.
And a line drive base hit to left. They're going to send the runner around third. Perkins throw all the way through, but up the first base line. Another run's going to score. And the inning continues, but it won't be Robert Gasser that will continue on the mound as Craig Counsell is making his way out. Gasser's given up 3 runs here in just 2/3 of an inning in the 4th. Victor Castaneda had been loosening in the bullpen. He'll try and finish off this inning. 31 pitches for Gasser. Spring training debut. Will be better days for that young man, no doubt. 5-1 Texas. They've put up 3 already in the 4th. And right-hander Victor Castaneda on to try and finish out this inning. 2 on and 2 out for the Brewers right-hander.
Pitched at 2 different levels last year for the Brewers, AA and AAA. Made 25 starts, 120 and 2/3 innings pitched, punched out 118 batters, 52 walks, gave up 17 home runs. This guy's going to come in, throw strikes, and attack.
Second appearance for him in the spring. Coming over from the minor league side. You see a lot of these minor league players over the next week as McCarthy drills one down the right field line, but foul. The World Baseball Classic cranking up, and teams already sending some of their players. Some over to Taiwan, some to Japan, others to Miami. Handful that are sticking around here in Arizona. You see a lot of new names making debuts.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of guys come over from the minor league side from every camp and just have an opportunity to open eyes. Opportunity for major league staff to take a look at you.
Got him on the backdoor breaking ball. Castaneda comes in, strikes out McCarthy. Rangers get 3. Lead by 4.
Beautiful day here at American Family Fields of Phoenix. Brewers Community Foundation is the charitable arm of the Milwaukee Brewers baseball. We focus on supporting organizations that impact health, education, recreation, and basic needs for children and their families. We are making a difference.
Texas going to the bullpen in the bottom of the 4th inning. Left-hander Brock Burke makes an appearance.
Had a great year last year out of the bullpen for the Texas Rangers. 1.97 ERA and 82 in a 3rd innings pitch. Only gave up 63 hits, punched out 90. It's a guy that stepped into a bullpen, multi-inning bullpen relief role for the Rangers.
Hard thrown lefty. That one at 93. Got it by Contreras. Originally in the Tampa Bay Rays organization, traded to Texas in December of 18. And Contreras fouls one away. William with a base hit, his first time up.
Yeah, Burke was in the Jerks and Profar 3-team deal with the A's and Rays and Rangers. The guy that they were relying on maybe to take a step into the rotation for the Rangers at some point. Injuries hurt him, but he's really found a home in that bullpen. Those 95 miles an hour off-speed pitches that are pretty devastating for hitters, both-handed hitters, both righties and lefties. Goes a curveball at 80 and a changeup at 85.
The 3-batter minimum. You can't just be a lefty-only guy anymore.
That's right.
Contreras line to the left. He gets the hands inside on that nicely.
Man, is he going to be an impact bat for the Brewers this season? Just so quick, so strong. Little slider cutter thing that ended up in the middle of the plate. Look how off balance he is. Head just stays so quiet, short, quick, compact to the baseball. You see why he hit 20 home runs last year and just 300 at bats.
Tyler Naquin gets a shot now at Burke. Naquin line to second base. Brewers 1 run coming on a solo homer to lead off the bottom of the first by Christian Yelich. First pitch he saw. Yelich doing the DHing today. Buzz the tower on Naquin.
This is an at-bat. Typically for a guy like Naquin that during the season he may not get. He might get pinch hit for in this situation, but in spring training definitely try and get these guys some same-handed at-bats just to see some pitching against lefties.
Naquin, who came up in Cleveland's system, and every time he got an opportunity at the big league level just never did much with it. Finally had a big season in Cincinnati a couple of years ago. And last year got off to a great start and didn't sustain it.
Ended up getting traded over to the Mets, actually. Helped them out in their playoff run. Brewers end up signing him on a minor league deal, and they're happy to do so.
Naquin swings and misses. Fell behind 3-0, and Burke comes back and strikes out Naquin. Here's Brian Anderson. But you look at this Rangers team, Vinny, and they're just so interesting. That division is such a bear with Houston, reigning World Series champs, Seattle a better team, made the playoffs, snapped that long streak of not going to the postseason. Angels made some improvements. Finally got some pitching on their side to go along with Ohtani and Trout. And they're the Rangers, who now have Bruce Bochy. Mike Maddox comes back as the pitching coach. Chris Young is the general manager now. They've got some pieces.
Yeah, they're pretty hopeful when you talk to the people over there.
Ground ball up the middle for Anderson. Two on, one out for Toro.
Yeah, you talk to the people over there with Texas, and they're pretty hopeful about what they got going, especially with those arms that they signed, and now they're part of their rotation. Their starting pitching rotation last year was 25th in all of baseball with a 4.63 ERA. You know, they were 12th in runs scored, so they, you know, they were able to score some runs, especially with Nathaniel Lowe, that, you know, really had a breakout year, Silver Slugger at first base for them. But they lost a pretty alarming amount of games that were decided by one run. They were 15 and 35 in one-run games. That's a 300 winning percentage in one-run games. That was last in all of baseball. So that, you know, you add some of these guys, their starting rotation. Obviously, you gotta stay healthy. Jacob deGrom coming over. You know, Martin Perez, you mentioned. They had John Gray, signed him last year. Nathan Eovaldi, a guy that's been really impactful. Andrew Haney. So they are retooled in the starting rotation.
Josh Leclerc at the back end of the bullpen is a guy that a lot of people don't talk about, but he's one of the game's best closers.
He really is. He's battled some injuries in his career, but yes, he's got that nasty off-speed pitch. They call it a change-up slurvy thing that no one can hit, but if he stays healthy, and you got this guy, Brock Burke, pretty interesting club.
Toro goes down on strikes, and if anybody's going to be able to manage a bullpen, it was that guy you just saw in the dugout, Bruce Bochy.
Look, hard to know exactly what manager's worth is. You know, Craig Counsell, he gets the most out of this Brewers team. We've seen that over his tenure. Same thing with Bruce Bochy. Guys that they just play better for certain managers. They're allowed to be themselves. They just thrive under certain guys. Bochy's one of them.
Bolt fouls the first one back from Burke. When you think about those Giants teams that won the World Series 10, 12, and 14, had three different closers in each of those runs. Bullpens had some of the same faces.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about a guy, I mean, closing out that forget which World Series it was, but Sergio Romo could barely break a pane of glass with his fastball, but yet he's closing out World Series games, throwing that slider. That's what that Bochy, again, gets the most out of his guys.
Bolt down to the count 1-2. It was Brian Wilson in 10. Romo striking out Miguel Cabrera on a pitch right down the middle in 12, and then everybody's favorite closer, Madison Bumgarner, at 14.
That's right.
Santiago Casilla was their closer at the time. Bolt 2-2, 2 on. Stays alive. Almost made the catch. The Rangers had Matt Moore, who was in that his 7th inning, 8th inning role last year. He signs with the Angels, and Burke probably takes those innings this season.
Yeah, he really took a step forward last year for the Rangers. Again, 1.97 ERA, throwing in that multi-inning role. You can see why he's been so effective. I didn't realize how big and physical this guy is on the mound. He's an imposing presence. That downhill fastball, 95.
The crossfire to his action too.
Yeah. Anytime you get a guy that big and physical and throwing the ball downhill, that's going to be tough on either righties or lefties. See the guys really late on that fastball. Throwing from that third base side of the rubber.
This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat to Sky Bolt. And he serves one through the left side. They send Contreras around. The throw cut off. Great at-bat from Sky Bolt to drive in a run.
Really good at-bat right there. Talk about some of those fastballs that he wasn't able to handle more at the top of the zone. Fouling those pitches off. Gets one more down in the zone that he can handle. And he gets the head out enough. Pulls the hands in. Good job right there by Sky Bolt. Nice short compact swing. RBI single.
Here comes Mike Maddox for a shoulder massage. Hey, there it is.
There it is. That's great.
The tale as old as time.
You don't do that to me in between innings. Hey,
I really didn't. I should. All right, Vinny.
Here we go.
Here's what we got. You got a promo coming up. This is what you got to do. A little right hand. So it's great what Mike Maddox does. He will always go on the opposite shoulder of the pitching arm. So he's a lefty. That's why he went with the right shoulder massage. But when he really needs to get your attention, he's full-on double hand massage.
Two-handed.
Two-hand massage.
Haven't seen that.
Mike Maddox back in Texas as the pitching coach after a stint in St. Louis.
Long stint in St. Louis.
Blake Perkins, the hitter. A run in. And a swing and a foul in and out of glove. Looked like the Rangers had set up a back pick at second base.
Probably something that Maddox actually put on out there in that mound visit. Hey, right here, first pitch, we're going to back pick. No sign. That's probably what he said.
1 ball, 1 strike, just trying to get Burke through this inning. Rangers have a right-hander starting to play catch in their pen. To the shortstop. Goes the short way, get the force out on Bolt at second. The inning is over. Brewers get a run on 3 hits. Make it 5-2 game as we hit to the 5th. Baseball on Valley Sports Wisconsin is presented by West Bend Insurance. West Bend, the silver lining. Taking you inside American Family Fields of Phoenix. Sun is out, thankfully. Hopefully the temperature starts to rise as Jansen Junk makes appearance number 2 in Cactus League action.
Yeah, coming over in the Hunter Renfroe deal from the Angels. Short little stint last year in the big leagues for the Angels. Only 8 1/3 innings pitched, 6.48 ERA. Had a little bit better success in AAA last year with a 4.64 ERA, but he's a starter with 4 pitches. Throws strikes. That's what the Brewers need. Only 18 walks last year in 73 2/3 innings pitched. He's been traded a couple of times. He started off with the Yankees.
He and Elvis Peguero packaged 2 different times. Popped up right side. Toro has it. Rowdy Tellez with a good arm fake. 1 away for Brad Miller. Jansen Junk, who had some command issues in his first appearance. He started on Sunday against Oakland, did not retire a batter. So now he has an earned run average.
Yeah, he's a guy that just has a track record of just filling the zone with his stuff. So just a little blip on the radar in his first spring training outing.
Made his big league debut back in 2021 against these Texas Rangers. Miller, the double, last time up off the center field fence.
He's got a good changeup. When you look at him, it reminds you a little bit of a Chase Anderson, just body type, the way that he throws, kind of that straight over the top delivery. Again, ability to command everything.
That's a great comp. Chase Anderson, who pitched for the Brewers for a number of years, had that outstanding changeup. Very similar build. Even mechanically.
Yeah, similar build, similar deliveries. Actually holding this changeup more like a split. That's what I'm looking at right there. But mainly slider four-seamer is what he's been using to righties, and then he does mix in that changeup to lefties.
He's 3-1 on Miller, and he walks him. So the command issues early on in camp for Jansen Junk continue this afternoon with a 1-out walk. And Frazier gets another crack. He's 0 for 2. He and Garver, the only 2 Rangers yet to reach base. Five out of the last 6 out of the zone for Junk. Frazier, former first-round pick for Cleveland, dealt to the Yankees, where he spent the majority of his career. Showed some promise early on as a member of the Yankees, but has just not been able to stay on the field.
Yeah, as a 5th overall pick out of high school from Georgia. I mean, this was a can't-miss prospect, and he just never figured it out in New York once he was traded over in the Andrew Miller deal. But he's back now, they say, with Tim Hires. He's the hitting coach now with the Texas Rangers, and he's kind of figured some things out. We saw that he smoked a ball earlier to center field that was run down by Sky Bolton center, but this was a can't-miss prospect.
Tim Hires, who was a longtime Red Sox hitting instructor and then latched on with the Dodgers. Very smart hitting instructor.
Guys love him. It's one of those guys that understands kind of the new data, the new tech, but also can really just get down to the players level and connect with players. That's what you hear when you hear players talk about Tim Hires.
He was in the Red Sox system when the Mookie Betts and Xander Bogaerts were coming through. Fouled away. That's the beauty of what the Brewers have going with their 2-headed monster at the head of their hitting program with Ozzie Timmons and Connor Dawson. It's kind of the yin and the yang. Connor, who's really good at the analytical side of things, and Ozzie, who does a great job of knowing the player and knowing what a hitter needs to go through to be ready every day.
Yeah,
just missed.
You hear Brewers hitters talk about those guys, and yes, it's the same kind of dynamic that they just connect with players exceptionally well, understand what each guy has to do. Everyone's an individual. It's very hard to teach hitting. I mean, now more than ever. Those guys do a great job.
3-2 runner goes, ground ball to short. Going to keep him out of a double play. So Adames throws out Frazier.
Probably a smart move right there by Willie, taking the sure out at first base. Would have been bang bang at second. Might have had him. Gets the out.
Jankowski hits. You know, at this level for hitting coaches, it's not necessarily mechanical a lot of times. You're more of a therapist than you are a hitting coach.
You really are. I mean, it is, you just get beat down so easily in this game. I mean, think about, so cliche to say, but you fail 7 out of 10 times and you're an all-star, right? So it's a game of failure. You got to figure out ways to stay confident.
In today's day and age, it's 7.5 times.
Yeah.
You think we're going to see more 300 hitters this year because of the shift being taken out?
Yeah, there could be, that could definitely be a factor, especially with left-handed hitters, right? Guys like Christian Yelich and Rowdy Tellez hit the ball so hard, but it was right into that shift. You'll see guys become more confident because of their stats are better.
Jankowski skies one to left. Easy play for Perkins. Glove stays on his hand this time. We're halfway through. 5-2 Texas. To our score. Bottom half of inning number 5, taking a little sun finally emerging here in Arizona. Cloud cover for much of the morning. Souvenirs in the crowd, new baseballs, new gear, and of course some snacks out on the berm. Vinny, I bet you're getting a little hungry now.
Yeah, it's getting about that time.
Some kettle corn available for you. New pitcher in there for Texas, left-hander John King.
Yeah, did a pretty good job out of the Texas Rangers bullpen last year. 51 in a third innings pitched to a 4.03 ERA. 30 punch outs. A ground ball guy, 65% ground balls. Big sinker right here from John King. Deceptive. Kind of a crossfire delivery. Looks like he's almost going to throw sidearm and then stays kind of that higher three-quarter delivery with a big sinker. 65% grounders.
Yelich goes after that sinker, fouls it away. Yelich homered to open up the game in the bottom of the first. Struck out in the third. Number of changes defensively for Texas. Yelich, infield knock. Yes. Duran, the third baseman, still playing almost in the hole between short and third. Easy knock for Yelly.
That was almost that shift-ish look to the right side of the infield there from the Rangers, and Yelich just puts it in play and gets a easy knock.
Well, you can do that. You can bunch your position players together on either side of the infield if you want to. You just have to stay on your side of second base.
I guess I'm not sure there would be a huge advantage of bunching guys up anymore.
No. Open up that third base line for a power hitting lefty. We'll see.
Yeah.
One on Willie. Base hit to left his last time. And now a base hit up the middle. Adames getting locked in. 2 for 3 for Willie Adames. Leaving Brewers camp and reporting to Team Dominican Republic, the World Baseball Classic, and they'll have a runner here. Good cut from Willie, getting dialed in.
Yeah, good swing right there from Willie. They talked about last year of him getting that front foot up on time, and when he did damage. Hit that ball hard, right back up the middle for a single.
Eric Brown Jr. running over at first base. Last year's first-round pick for the Brewers. Hit a home run a couple of days ago against Oakland. Tellez takes ball 1.
Yeah, excited to see Eric Brown Jr. play. Going into shortstop next inning. He's got that one pocket out like the Dominican players like to do in the back.
Left blinker's on.
Left blinker. They say he's an instinctual player with some tools and really high contact skills. Hopefully tapping into some power here. He had a good year last year when he was sent out. Carolina.
3-0 on Rowdy Tellez. Ground out and strikeout today. Couple of homers for Rowdy. I think the ball that he hit on Tuesday just finally stopped rolling. That was a bomb. He draws a walk on 4 straight pitches from King, so a couple of hits and now a walk. Yelich didn't realize the count. Now trots over to third. He's going back to second base.
He's thinking about his knock that he had over at third base side.
Duran's got a family to think about with that exit velocity.
Soggy knock, we call that.
Robert Moore now running over at first base for Tellez, as Contreras 2 for 2, base hit up the middle and a base hit to left. That one towards the middle, that could be a double play. Smith steps on second, throws to first, and a good pick. No, off the bag was the first baseman. The pick was there, the foot was not. Run comes across. Krim, the new first baseman, couldn't keep his foot on the bag.
Ooh, that was a pretty good pick. Must have came off just a hair. No replay here in spring training. I'm guessing that one would have been replayed during the year.
I think you're right. Brewers probably catching a break. Mark Carlson over there at first base on the call. Contreras will be run for. His day is done. That's where it starts to get fun scoring the game, Vinny.
You gonna help me out?
I will.
Okay.
Naquin takes ball 1. Evens things up on Naquin.
He's had to face a couple of tough lefties here these last 2 at bats. Not a comfortable at bat right here, I'm sure, for Naquin. Lefty lefty.
Tried to stay in there on that breaking ball, fought it off.
61 at bats against left-handed pitching last year for Naquin. Only hit 180, a couple of home runs. Hit 9 home runs against righties last year, so he can do damage against righties. Good to get some at bats though against lefties, as we mentioned.
Spoiled that. 2-2 on Naquin. Brian Anderson waiting on deck. King up to 19 pitches in the inning. Hit to right. Deep enough to score a run. Throw goes into second base. Sacrifice fly for Naquin. Pretty quality at bat. Lefty.
Really nice job by Tyler Naquin right here, spoiling some tough pitches from that tough lefty sinker baller in John King. Gets one down in the zone. He's able to drive one-handed out into the outfield for a sac fly. Just put the ball in play. You could tell that's what he was thinking right there against that tough lefty. Good job by Naquin.
So 1-run game for Brian Anderson. Strikeout and a single. And now he's going to have another base hit down the right field line this time. First to third goes Henry Mendez, who came on to run. Piece of hitting from the player, Brian Anderson.
Good swing right there, as opposed to the broadcaster, Brian Anderson, is where you were going with that, Jeff. And good piece right here by Brian Anderson. Again, that sinker's moving a ton from John King. Brian Anderson actually sees it, started off in the middle of the plate, and it ends up off the barrel, way down off the barrel. You could tell he probably didn't want to lose that bat, it looked like.
Was he talking to his bat or was he talking to his biceps? Looks like he was kind of flexing.
I think he was upset that he broke his gamer right there. But died a hero, right?
Was that the bat that he homered with the other day?
Probably. Sometimes they talk about those maple bats already being cracked inside. I never understood that.
How do you know if it's cracked on the inside?
X-ray maybe or something. I don't know.
Who's X-raying their bats before they bring it up to the plate?
Nobody.
Hairline fracture on the inside of the maple?
There has to be something to it, though, because sometimes you would barrel some of those balls up and then the bat would break. And then people would say it was probably broken inside. Never made sense to me.
Toro, ground ball sharply hit to short. Smith stayed down on it, makes the play to end the inning. Brewers get a couple in the fifth, though. Make it a one-run game. We played 5 in Arizona. Crew trails the Rangers by 1.
For years, I've
5-4 Rangers over the Brewers. The Festival of Baseball is back. Catch all the excitement at the 2023 World Baseball Classic beginning March 8th. Get your tickets today at worldbaseballclassic.com.
WBC. You got a favorite?
Italy. Team Italy. Mike Piazza managing. Sal Frelick playing for that club. Like their chances.
Sticking with it. I like it. They're in Japan, right? Is that where they're training?
Yeah. Or Taiwan.
Taiwan, excuse me. Here's Mathias. Foul back. Same spot. Jansen Junk in inning number 2. 4 teams that are here in Arizona. The Brewers are going to be playing a friendly against Great Britain next week.
Can't wait for that tournament. Such a good thing for baseball. I tell you, who was a coach for our team as Junk punches out Mark Mathias right there.
Great call, Vinny.
Thank you on that play-by-play.
Just keep going.
Was Tom Trebelhorn was a coach for Team Italy. Former Milwaukee Brewers manager Tom Trebelhorn. It was awesome because I grew up watching the Milwaukee Brewers when Trebelhorn was the manager, and there he was helping out with the team.
Love it.
Wouldn't think that he had Italian ancestry, but apparently he did.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Ezekiel Duran is at the plate. Let's check in with Sophia. She's standing by with Abraham Toro in the dugout.
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, we were just talking about World Baseball Classic. Abraham Toro, one of the many Brewers who's going to be participating in that. And Abraham, you're one of the newest Brewers acquired in the trade from Seattle, along with Jesse Winker. So just first of all, your reaction to being a Brewer now and getting your first couple games underway here.
I mean, I feel excited. This is a really good team. Hopefully make the playoffs, go deep, have a chance to win a division. So I'm really, really proud to be a part of this group.
You play all across the infield with Seattle. It was primarily second base, third base, some DH, some first base as well. And your versatility, and you're a switch hitter. It seems like that plays into exactly the kind of player the Brewers love. So what do you hope to show here in spring training?
I'm just ready whatever. I've already played in multiple positions, and you know, it's about getting the reps to all the position. And like I said, I'm always ready whatever they need me.
As a switch hitter, I know you've said that your natural side comes on the right side. So kind of at what age did you start to develop the other side, and how much time do you spend to stay sharp on both sides of the plate?
So ever since I was a young kid, I always kind of mess around with both sides, but I would say not, every day going to take it seriously at 16, that's when I decided to do it seriously from both sides.
And how do you continue to develop that here at the professional level now?
I changed a little bit. I used to, you know, do more of whatever side I think I was struggling. Now I'm trying to do as 50-50 as possible, because you never know who's going to come. So I'm just trying to stay 50-50 and stick to that routine.
Adam McKelvey from MLB.com did a great story with you. You had some fun with your new Brewers teammates, helping them learn French. You're from Canada. You were born outside of Montreal, went to school there. Your family's Venezuelan, so you speak 3 languages. But tell me a little bit about helping your teammates learn some French and some French baseball terms.
Yeah, I mean, guys, I'm surprised. Guys, I've been having fun with it. Every day, I'm trying to teach somebody a new word. And there's some guys. Actually, Willie's pretty good. He's has a pretty good French.
And you're also trying to pick up Italian.
Well, that's a little. I'm a little behind. You know, I have this app called Duolingo, but I won't say I'm fluent at all. Yeah.
Okay. Well, can you share? Do you have an Italian baseball word for us, or do you want to drop a little French baseball on us?
French?
Yeah.
I would say on va avoir un bon match. That means we're going to have a good game.
Oh, I love that. Okay, wait, slow down. Say that again.
On va avoir un bon match.
What about we're going to have a good season?
On va avoir une bonne saison.
How would you say Brewers in French? Can you translate that one?
I can't. I think we just say Brewers, honestly. I don't know how to say it. Yeah.
All right, that's good stuff. Thanks, Abraham. We're excited to have you here with the Brewers. Thanks for having some fun with us.
Thank you.
Les Brewers trailing by 1, 5-4 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Wouldn't be a game at American Family Fields of Phoenix without Les Sausages. That's not it. That's not it at all. 5-4 Texas. Polish is kind of running away with the sausage race this spring. Bratwurst trying to make a late charge, but Polish comes away. Good to see none of the sausages got dirty today. Had a couple of sausages fall down the other day. Ricky Vanesco takes over now for Texas.
Yeah, we're talking about the number 16 prospect for the Texas Rangers, and Ricky Vanesco, hard thrower, 4.68 ERA last season.
Van Meter opens up against him, grounds 1 to second base. Foscue makes the play. And the upcoming Brewers schedule here in Arizona. Of course, we're a month away from the home opener at American Family Field in Milwaukee. This will coming up on Valley Sports Wisconsin. Got another one for you against the Seattle Mariners this weekend. Guardians and the Royals next week, too. Vinny, this is your last telecast for a little bit.
This is. I'm doing a webcast tomorrow, but yes, this has been fun. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank me, man. I don't know. I'm just glad you're along for the ride, man. You're going to be doing plenty this year.
Yeah, excited for it.
A little pre and post, plus
a bunch of road games as well.
Get you out on the road a little bit more. Had a couple of road trips last year, didn't you, Vinny? St. Louis, San Francisco, and then Cincinnati late.
Yeah, you and I, Cincinnati.
Yep.
It's great. Love it. Talking baseball, hanging out with you, Dom. Be better.
Be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Looking forward to an expanded role for you this year, Vinny. You and Tim will be sharing a lot of the road schedule. Rock will be back this weekend in the middle part of the spring slate, and then Tim Dillard will be down and do the last couple of games on TV with us.
Yeah, excited. Look, get to talk baseball, get to break down the games, and look, we get to follow our beloved Milwaukee Brewers. Should be a good ball club this year, especially with what we talked about in the opener with the starting pitching, some of these new bounce back acquisitions that they do have on the position player side of things.
Ground ball to second for Perkins. 2 up and 2 down for Vanesco. Luke Voigt will hit in Yelich's spot. Interesting talking to Abraham Toro there, the conversation with Sophia. And of course, we're having some fun about teaching his teammates how to speak French. And it's hard enough speaking one language. And for some of these players that come over from Latin American countries or from Canada who speak French, or even Japan or the Far East, trying to assimilate and speak English is not an easy thing to do. So when you're Abraham Toro, who already speaks 3 languages, and he's trying to learn Italian, I mean, that is so hard to do.
No, I mean, it's pretty amazing just being able to come over. A lot of these guys come over from Latin America having Spanish as their primary language, and then they're really forced to learn English. It's a big part of their development, believe it or not. But yeah, a guy that speaks multiple. Impressive.
Voigt, check swing. Going to get a base hit out of it. Brian Anderson broke a bat, turned it into a single. Now Voigt with a check swing and using his strength to pick up a knock.
Voigt, little excuse me swing. That ball, what was the exit velo on that half swing? Dumps it into right field for a knock. Good for the spring training batting average, which means nothing.
I bet the exit velo was pretty good because he barreled it up pretty well.
Seriously.
That's one of those where if you sit back and look at it again as Brown shoots one the other way for a base hit. Well, what would have happened if he just completes the swing?
Yeah, might have drove it out of here. But Eric Brown, first rounder for the Brewers last year, jumps on the first pitch from Ricky Vanasco, top of the zone. They rave about this guy's contact ability and his knowledge of the strike zone. Gets on top of that fastball, shoots it into right.
Time called here for the Brewers. I think we've got some lineup questions because Robert Moore came into Rowdy Tellez's spot. And now Moore's coming up. I saw Mendez coming to the plate, and I'm thinking to myself, that's not the right spot in the order. Mendez is due next.
Mendez chomping at the bit to get up to the plate, I think.
A little bit of leniency from the home plate umpire as Moore fouls one back.
And with the new rules in the pitch clock, the umpires are going to have discretion to restart the clock in situations like that where there might be some confusion about the lineup or for whatever reason, maybe some equipment malfunctions.
Catcher running on the base paths.
Yes, which is smart.
Moore to the left side. Played by the third baseman Darrow, and he throws him out to end the inning. The Brewers had a couple of base hits for 2 outs. Strand a couple men on base through 6 in Arizona. Milwaukee Brewers may not be reproduced, retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Milwaukee Brewers. Don't do it. Don't even think about it. Take a look at our Wisconsin Lottery Powerball home run leaderboard for the spring. Garrett Mitchell, both of those homers came in the same game. There are 2-run homers. Rowdy Tellez, Mike Brasso, he went deep yesterday in Tempe. And then a slew of players tied at 1. Hard-throwing right-hander Abner Uribe on to work for Milwaukee. Boy, the Brewers love this kid's arm.
Yeah, big arm right here from Abner Uribe. He did not throw much last year. He's coming off an injury from his lower half. So he's got a great arm. Excited about this kid.
Just 2 games last year in AA Biloxi, 3 innings. Guy who's regularly hitting 100 on the radar gun. That last one in 97. Guy caught the attention of Craig Counsell before camp in 2021. Was thrown on one of the backfields, and Craig tells the story. He just heard the glove popping and said, I want to go see who's throwing, and it was Uribe. Drops that nasty breaking ball at 90 on Smith.
He's got a hard breaking ball, swing and miss stuff from this kid.
Out in front of home plate, and a foul ball. Navarrete was on it. Just foul. Will do it again. And last fastball at 99 from Uribe.
Yeah, with movement on that pitch as well. He's only pitched 65 innings in 4 seasons so far. Again, he's had some lower body injuries. His arm has been good. Really opened some eyes in the Arizona Fall League this last year. Pitching to a 0.90 ERA in 10 innings. Punched out 14 in the fall. He only walked 2.
That's the key.
Yes.
2 walks, 14 strikeouts in those 10 innings. Pitching for Glendale.
Signed as an 18-year-old. 2018. He's got all 3 options left, so he's going to be a guy that's going to factor into the bullpen this year.
100 miles an hour on that fastball that missed maybe a tad inside. Just 22 years old for Uribe. A young pup.
91 miles an hour on that nasty slider with depth. You don't see breaking balls that move that much at 91 typically.
Got him. Broke off a nasty one on Smith.
What an impressive pitch right there from Uribe. Buried the one in the dirt the pitch before, and then he throws this one that started as a strike, stayed as a strike, but Smith swings over the top. Nasty.
That's the green sick face emoji. If you were texting somebody, that's what you would text.
Filth.
Elier Hernandez down to the count 0-1, 99 mile an hour fastball. I mean, again, we talked about it a few innings ago. How does anybody hit?
Seriously. Nasty, nasty stuff.
I mean, you're playing in a spring training game, Vinny, and you know you've got to face a kid like this. And there might be a little bit of a fear factor, too, because he hasn't pitched at very high levels. There's some command question marks.
Yeah, it's not a comfortable at bat, certainly for right-handed hitters. And then when you see a kid throw this hard with that kind of movement on their stuff, and then they dot a pitch like he did just right there against Hernandez, first pitch of the AB, and you're thinking, I have no shot. As soon as you're 0-1 against this guy, you're just hoping they throw balls. That's going to be Uribe's key going forward, is to be in the zone, fill up the zone with his strikes, with his arsenal.
Fouled back by Hernandez again at 100. Plus he's got that electric blue glove on too. He and Elvis Peguero have been using those electric blue gloves. Saw Luis Urias have that Team Mexico glove on.
That's the City Connect jersey color blue right there.
Oh, yeah.
from Uribe. Like that.
It's a good call. There's that slider. Another strikeout. Oof. You understand why the organization likes Admiral Uribe so much.
Yeah, he's exciting. This is an exciting look right here. Great arm, great stuff. He's throwing strikes. Delivery looks clean, repeatable. Everything that you want to see and you're looking for, Abner Uribe is delivering right now. Is there something I said, Jeff?
No, not at all. Not at all. I just got a text message from the radio broadcast booth to our right, which is the visiting broadcast from the Rangers, Matt Hicks and Jared Sandler. Matt Hicks and I were in the Texas League together. He was in Corpus Christi and I was in Springfield, and Jared and I buddies from way back from Southern California, and apparently they're talking about your hair on their radio broadcast, and they are marveling at the volume of your hair.
Oh my goodness, it's a project for sure. It's a labor of love, really, at this point.
I mean, I just want to know how much pomade you have to. Is it a full 4-finger scoop? There's Jared.
Yeah, there's a hair dryer involved.
Yeah, Matt Hicks is over here. There's Vinny. There's a hair dryer involved.
Oh yeah,
with that.
Yeah, there is.
It's impressive. Also impressive that we have matching jackets up here today.
Yeah.
I only have.
You got yours from Studley.
I did.
Who loves to hear his name on the air.
Blaine Krim coming up after the walk from Uribe. Yeah, I opened up my window though, so.
Yeah, this space heater down here is getting a little hot. You got two pairs of gloves? It's the Rockies.
Runner goes. Navarretto couldn't get it out of his hand, and a stolen base for Carter. Might have had a shot with a clean exchange. You tell me you've had 2 pair of gloves the whole time?
Not a huge reference guy, but yeah, that's from the movie Dumb and Dumber. But Navarretto juggling that one. He's got a cannon, just needed a little bit quicker exchange.
Krim, the new first baseman. This one into shallow center. And the catch is going to be made by Monte Harrison. Inning over, a couple of strikeouts, and you can see the flashes from Uribe. Fun inning. Check the volume of Vinny's hair when we come back. Live drone footage outside American Family Fields of Phoenix. 1-run lead for Texas. New pitcher on for the Texas Rangers. Lucas Jacobson going to take over. How about the lefties are running out today for Bruce Bochy's club?
Yeah, they're excited about this kid. Only 19 2/3 innings pitched last year. Is coming off a Tommy John surgery the year before. A couple of Tommy John surgeries for this kid. 27th rounder out of Long Beach State University. 98 with sink from the left side. So have fun, lefties.
Former dirtbag delivers a strike. It's funny that all the Long Beach State mascots are the 49ers except for the baseball program.
Why is that?
It's a great question. They've just always been the dirtbags. Goes back to the 80s. College World Series runs. Henry Mendez pops it up. Darrell makes the catch.
Mendez, a kid they're excited about. The Brewers are. Played at 18 years old all year last year at low A.
Singleton the hitter and takes ball 1. Guy can hit some home runs in his past, and even last year with Nashville. Potawatomi advanced stat. Average home run distance last year for the Brewers, 401 feet. That was 5th in the big leagues. Included one that was 499 feet from Christian Yelich in Colorado. I still think it was 500 feet.
Couldn't they give him the 500?
Right? What's the big deal?
I don't know. That was a bomb.
Two and one on Singleton. Two one, breaking ball misses inside. 3-1. Outstanding statistical team here of Dom Catronio to our left, who brought our big league statistician down to Arizona with us. Singleton, short hops, Acuna at short, and no scoop from Krim. Should be a base hit for Singleton.
Good piece of hitting right there from Jonathan Singleton. Staying inside this hard sinker, able to barrel it up. Nice play by Acuna. 7th ranked prospect for the Texas Rangers, not able to complete the play on the back end with a little bit of a short hop throw. Singleton beats it out.
Name sounds familiar. It's Ronald's brother.
Yeah, Ronald Acuna Jr.'s little brother, Luis Sangal Acuna.
Sometimes known as Jose.
On his baseball reference page, it says Jose.
That's right. Harrison takes down low.
Talked to my ex-colleagues over there at the Texas Rangers to see what was going on right there. Big group of people I used to work with.
Bleeding Brew Crew now.
Yes, sir.
2-1 on Harrison. We were talking about Long Beach State, and that Dom did the research, so I got to pay it off on why they're known as the Dirtbags.
Do tell.
2-2 on Harrison. It stems from 1989. Very specific. I said late 80s, so I covered myself on dates. So 89, they would do their infield work on all dirt infields, and they would just get filthy with the way that they would work out on these all dirt infields. So they were known as the Dirtbags.
Makes sense. Pretty simple explanation, cut and dried right there. All dirt infield. Makes sense.
But just for their workouts.
Yeah. Huh.
I don't know why that was the case. Why you'd want to just work out on an all dirt infield, maybe to simulate quick hops. I'm not sure.
Tougher hops, perhaps.
Work on your reactions. But what a ton of shortstops that have come through Long Beach State.
Oh, yeah.
Tulowitzki, Longoria, just to name a couple.
Former Brewers 40-man occupant Adam Heather.
Yeah.
Not a name that's a household name, but I played with him for a long time. Guy was as talented as anybody. Just couldn't figure it out.
Swing and a miss. And Jacobson strikes out a pair. Gave up the base hit to Singleton. That's all. Thank you for going to Long Beach State so we can talk about the Dirtbags. With a one-run lead as we play in the top of the 8th inning. How about Vinny Rotino in his final spring training game? Look at him filling out that Brewers uniform. Team Italy, the World Baseball Classic, short compact hack. Look at that. Is it weird watching yourself in highlights, Vinny?
It is, but you know what? Whenever you need a little confidence boost, just go to YouTube and check out your 3 big league homers. That's pretty cool.
Clint Frazier, a little pop-up, shallow center, gonna fall in. Someone's got to go cover second base. It'll be Bosley that does that. It'll be a bloop single for Clint Frazier. We'll have a runner for him. And you know what? As long as you have big league highlights, a big league batting average, no one can take that away.
That's right. That's right. Baseball reference page. But looking at Caleb Bosley here, UW Lacrosse Eagle, former UW Lacrosse Eagle, where I went to school. But here's his record last year: 3.25 ERA and 127 in a third innings pitch, 91 punch outs. He's a contact guy. He's not going to walk many guys. He's going to go right at you. Guy's only at 226 off him last year in the minor leagues.
Joins you as alums from Lacrosse.
Guy the Brewers selected in the minor league phase of the Rule 5 draft prior to last season. Was drafted by the Padres in the 33rd round.
David Garcia takes a strike. Garcia took over behind the plate for Mitch Garver. Ground ball softly hit. Tough play. Brown gets the hop. Throws to first in time.
Nice play right there by Eric Brown Jr., the Brewers' first round draft pick last year. Everyone says he kind of profiles more as a second baseman because of the arm, but plenty of arm right there to get David Garcia. Nice play. Throwing on the run.
Yeah, a couple of hits now in spring training and dazzling with the glove on that play. Here's Foscue. Took over at second base for Texas.
Like the bounce right there from Eric Brown. quick first step. He's got, just looks like he's got a ton of energy he's playing with out there in the field. They say, talk to people with the Brewers. They say they rave about his instincts. Again, the energy that he plays with. Good athlete.
The first time the Brewers have dipped into the middle infield ranks with a first-round pick in a while. They went on a run, outfielders there. And Bryce Terang a few years ago, but it's been nothing but outfielders since.
Yeah. Terang in 17, I believe.
Keston here in 18. Liner towards the middle, knocked down by the second baseman Moore. Runners will be on the corners. One had some English off the handle of the bat from Foscue.
Yeah, Foscue is a 2020 first-round draft pick for the Texas Rangers, a guy from Mississippi State. Big, strong, right-handed hitting Justin Foscue. He's tore it up in the minor leagues. It's a base hit right there. But going back to the Brewers draft, I mean, they just do a tremendous job of drafting guys, developing guys. Such a big part of this Brewers organization. So important to the success of the organization.
Seeing a lot of those first-round picks making their way towards the big leagues. Sal Frelick had a good day on Tuesday. He is now with Team Italy. Of course, Garrett Mitchell debuted last year with the Crew, hit 2 home runs in his first game on Saturday against the Dodgers. Feels like that outfield group with Joey Wiemer right there too. Folks that Brewers fans can really hang their hats on position player wise.
It's incredible the amount of talent that's coming through on the position player side of things. The last group that was this talented that the Brewers have had was, you got to go all the way back to, you know, the Corey Harts, the Prince Fielders, the Ryan Brauns, J.J. Hardys, back a decade ago or more. Recently, it's been on the pitching side that they've had such a wealth of talent, but now what's coming is the position player group. And again, it's just that job that Todd Johnson has done on the draft. On the international side of things, Jefferson Caro coming, Jackson Chourio coming. And they have 5 legitimate top 100 prospects in their system as position players are coming through. It's an exciting time for the Brewers.
3-1, runner goes, curveball is a ball, throw is into center field. Run's going to come across as Foscue ends up at third on the throwing error by Navarretto. Pitch was called for ball 4. So Harris draws the walk. Runners are on the corners.
It was one of those where just got away from him. Just like a pitcher, sometimes position players can fly open with that front side, and that arm's going to drag and then going to sail a ball just like Navarretto did right there.
You see the arm strength from Navarretto. Good throw, and he's out by plenty. Strike on Darrow. Going back to the Brewers developmental system, Vinny, and how they've gone through these waves of developing the position players and then that run of all the great pitchers that are now at the big league level to now there's some good pitching depth down in the minor leagues, but it's more the A ball, maybe touching on Double-A now, and it's the position players that go front and center.
Yeah, it is the position players right now, that wave coming. They do have a pitching prospect named Mizorowski from a junior college in Missouri, one of the best arms in all of baseball in the entire world. They're talking about throwing 100. He's a 6'7" prospect with a nasty breaking ball. But yeah, I think what they're finding out is they're going to try and take, you know, it's different every year, but try and take position players at the top because they know they can develop pitching. They can acquire it, find it later in the draft.
Popped up. Infield fly should be called for. Nobody called for it.
The shortstop, number 74, Luis Appel, Acuna.
2 away for Acuna.
You know, you remember Brandon Woodruff's an 11th round draft pick.
Yeah.
You know, so they developed him. Corbin Burns, a 4th round draft pick. Developed him. Freddie Peralta was a throw-in in the Adam Lynn deal back in 2016, 14, whatever year it was. It's an incredible acquisition. Eric Lauer, they acquire him in that deal. They change his arm action. All of a sudden, he's taking a big step. So Chris Hook has just done a tremendous job of developing some of these guys, and then, you know, now they're adding on the position player side of things. So this is going to be a successful organization for a while.
Snap throw to first. 2 strikes on Acuna. Here mentioning Mizorowski went to the same junior college as Aaron Ashby.
Yes, Crowder. Crowder College in Missouri.
Developing that pipeline.
Yeah. It's a great program there in Missouri. Ton of talent.
Gets away from Navarretto. Up to second goes Harris. Second and third. And a 1-2 count on Acuna. Bosley trying to work his way through this inning. Two and two.
Bosley's a guy that's not going to throw particularly hard. 89, 91 you see, but he's had a ton of success in the minor leagues. Again, just getting outs, pitches. Talked to Chris Schwarz, the coach at UW La Crosse, about him. He's just never rattled. He's out there. Does a good job.
Drops that 73-mile-an-hour hook on Acuna, strikes him out. Rangers pick up a run. Bottom of the 8th is on the way. Taking in the Arizona sun while it's here. Maybe a little siesta. Second one in on the right. Sounds good right about now. Nap time.
Yeah.
Good day at the ballpark. Souvenir City. Baseball for the youngsters. Maybe a snow cone or 6. Maybe not today. Hot drinks today, not snow cones. Cole Winn is coming on for Texas.
Yeah, Texas's first round draft pick back in 2018. He was the 15th overall pick. Had a rough year last year in Round Rock with a 6.51 ERA. 121 and 2/3 innings pitched. Struck out 87, but it's a kid that they are excited about. Put it all together. Throws hard, 94, 95. Multiple pitches.
Josh Van Meter, the first one to face him. Second at bat for him. And takes up and in. 3 balls, no strikes. What's your go-to ballpark food, Vinny?
I just love a hot dog. Love it. Yeah. But I go ketchup, mustard, relish, onions. I go everything. How about you?
It's a hard question. Depends on the mood that I'm in. Really does. I'm a big fan of nachos.
Do you go jalapeno?
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, me too.
Big time. I would, my power rankings of snacks would probably go nachos first, and then a brat. Only in
Kraut?
Wisconsin.
Kraut?
Oh yeah, gotta have kraut.
Yeah.
But I don't go mustard. I don't go mustard. I just go kraut.
You're a mustard hater.
Not a hater.
Okay.
False. False. See, there's a method to my madness. As Hedbert Perez is the hitter. If we're doing like brats as an appetizer and they're cut right with toothpicks on a charcuterie board or whatever it is, if you add one of those things, then I will dip in mustard. But if I'm eating a brat out of a bun, no mustard.
That is very bizarre.
Right?
Because there are mustard haters out there.
Not
there
a hater.
People that hate mustard. That's not you.
No. I used to say I was allergic to it, but I have grown accustomed to mustard now.
Now, are you yellow mustard or Dijon? What are you?
Equal opportunity.
Yeah.
I will do both.
Got to have mustard on your brat here in Wisconsin.
Again, when it's sliced in bite-sized forms. Some mustard on the shoes there for Hedbert Perez. It's a good look.
That is a good look and a good segue or whatever. Really good.
Dynamite. Good changeup that time from Wynn. Strikes out Hedbert Perez. First down of the inning. So you said hot dog first, then what?
A good pretzel. Nice, but it has to be fresh. I don't want a crunchy thing on my soft pretzel on the outside of the pretzel. I want nice, fresh, soft pretzel with mustard and cheese.
Sure.
Yeah.
All the dipping sauce. The Bavarian Beast is waiting for you.
Can't wait to get one of those.
Man. Now you're hungry.
I've been hungry.
Vinny's been hungry. He's getting irritable.
I'm having a great time.
Voit fouls it away. 0-2 on Luke Voit. Check swing single his first time up in the 6th.
We got on that jersey situation going on from Luke Voit.
It's impressive.
Got an extra button.
Buffalo chicken nachos. I think we're going to have to try that out at some point. I'll let you know how it is. Yeah, this jersey game from Luke Voit is impressive. I mean, it's Daniel Vogelback from the right side.
That's right.
A little bit more trim.
Right.
For Voit. Maybe it's the letter V with the last name. Throw to first, not in time.
Got a few inches on Vogelback too, I believe.
Yeah.
Vogelback was around 6 foot tall, wasn't he? And Voit more in the 6'3" range. Big boy.
Base hit for Voit. 2 for 2 for Luke.
Tell you what, this guy's trying to make this ball club right here. Luke Voit. He's had some good at-bats so far this spring. That big leg kick gather and reads the pitch as it comes in. Very quick hands, short swing.
He will be pinch run for over at first base. So 2 knocks and the day done. Eduardo Garcia will run at first base for Voit. Voit who went into the DH spot. Don't have to worry about Garcia playing defense. Here's Brown. Base hit his first time up. See him choking up on the bat. One of the conversations about Brown when he was drafted is that he had a lot of movement in his swing.
Yeah, a lot of movement and a weird setup with his hands too, where the back elbow would be way up higher, his hands would be way higher. More tip to the barrel in the setup as well. Looks like he's calmed that way down. A little quieter setup, quieter approach. Less movement in that load. Load meaning when he gathers to get ready to hit with those hands. I like it. Been impressed so far from Eric Brown.
That one scoots away from the catcher Garcia. Wild pitch. Second and third now for the Brewers, and we talk about it all the time, Vinny, just about offensive players and hitters when you're at the plate. You could start however you want. You could start like Gary Sheffield. You could start like Craig Counsell, but at the end of the day, you're going to end up typically in the same spot.
I mean, almost every single big league hitter, once they land with that front foot, they're centered, they're balanced, and they're in a loaded position with their hands and the back elbow kind of all in that same spot, ready to fire, short, quick, direct down to the baseball. Very rarely do you see a successful big league hitter not in that spot. Here it is right here. See that big barrel tip, and then he gets right there, hands back, Again, centered. You see how he's transferring that weight into that back heel, inner part of that back foot. That's textbook right there.
Fouls that one back. You look at Brown, and then you see the setup by Joey Weimer. It's really interesting how much power they generate from their back foot. Long gone are the days of, hey, squish the bug back there.
Yeah, sit and spin doesn't work, right? So you want to get some momentum going to the baseball, going centered, going forward a little bit.
That one caught the corner. Brown didn't think so.
Ball looked outside to me. Slider right here from Cole Winn. Gets a gift off the plate. Was not framed that well by Garcia either, but gets a little bit of a gift. Usually you don't see that with guys scattering balls a little bit, as Cole Winn is right now.
Robert Moore, the hitter, grounds one foul outside of first. The son of Dayton Moore, who's now with the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, advisor to the Texas Rangers, longtime GM of the Kansas City Royals. Built those championship teams. That championship team was in the World Series 2 years in a row, though, with the Kansas City Royals in the mid-2010s. Big game Bob Moore, that's what he was named in at Arkansas. Kid would come up with big hits all the time when you talk to scouts. Scout this kid out.
Played in the Australian Baseball Summer League, which is played in the winter this year. It felt like every time I checked Brewers Twitter, it was Bobby Moore hitting another homer.
Yeah, he really tore the cover off the ball this winter down there.
Strikes out this time, and the inning is over. Brewers had a couple of men in scoring position. Leave them there. We will head to the ninth in just a moment. 6-4 Texas. That looked like a winner from here. Youngsters hanging in the berm. Making maybe a bracelet there. Lanyard. What do you got?
I don't know what she was doing. Doing what 4-year-olds do. Like she's having fun.
Whatever keeps them occupied for that 60-second window. They'll move on to something else.
Yeah. Spoken like a man who has young children.
Yeah.
Jeff, yeah.
Hernandez takes strike two from Bosley, out there for a second inning of work. Carter and Krim to follow. Bosley's 0-2. Up high. Bosley trying to become the first Wisconsin lacrosse player to get to the big league since our own Vinny Rotino.
Yeah, they do a great job with that program there. Chris Schwarz, Scott Gillitzer, Matt Ziba helps out. I know all those guys. Yeah, they just do a great job. Really good league, the WIAC in Wisconsin, Division III baseball, but my goodness, there are a lot of good players in that league. Jordan Zimmerman came out of that league, went to UW Stevens Point. A number of UW Whitewater players drafted recently. Division III baseball.
It's the best. I played it.
Yes, you did.
I get it. Check swing, appeal, didn't go. Jeff Nelson down there at first. It's ball 4. Leadoff man aboard. I think played against some of those Whitewater teams with Greg Reinhardt.
Yeah, he had an opportunity with the Cubs.
Say Mike Tomasevich.
Yeah.
Left-hander with the Mets. Ground ball right side, base hit. Hernandez going to try and go for third. Here comes the throw. It's cut off. Had to play it first, but Singleton was off the bag. Milwaukee now a single.
Yeah, Evan Carter with a base hit right there. Number 3 prospect in the Texas Rangers organization. Good looking player, plays center field. Was the youngest player in the draft in 2020, that COVID draft with only 5 rounds. Top 100 prospect now, Evan Carter.
Blaine Krim is the hitter. Bosley trying to fight his way through traffic again. Gets ahead 0-1. Ground ball to short, could be 2. Brown takes it himself, 6-3. Run comes across to make it 7-4. Nice play made by Brown.
How about that play from Eric Brown Jr.? Yeah, it certainly looks like a shortstop on those last couple of plays. That nice play that he made charging in on that ball earlier, and then that play thrown on the run as well, ranging a little bit to his left. It's a pretty slick play right there, Jeff. Like it.
Had a chance to make the flip to Moore and decided to take it himself. You're in these games at the big league level, an opportunity to shine in front of the big league coaches. Yeah. Davis Wenzel gets an opportunity to hit. He's on the all hair team. Bosley ahead, 0-2. Seeing Bosley a little bit more dialed in with the command, save for the walk that opened up the inning. Wenzel pokes one into center for base hit. Bosley made a good pitch. Wenzel just a better job hitting it, and Craig Counsell is going to go to the bullpen. Bosley hitting his pitch limit. 34 pitches and a pitching change here in the top of the ninth. It's 7-4 Texas. This one in from the berm. Good looking Robin Yount shirt on the right there. Zach Venaro. Free agent signee, big guy, 6'6", 220.
Yeah, big sinker guy at the 5.47 ERA last year, 54 1/3 innings. Struck out a bunch of guys, even though he's got that big sinker ground ball guy. 53 punch outs and 49 1/3 innings actually in Biloxi last year. Pitched most of his time in Biloxi.
3 games in AAA Nashville. That one caught the edge on David Garcia. Didn't think so.
Non-drafted free agent, signed in 2019. You see that more often now, Jeff, is the undrafted free agent, because the draft is only 20 rounds now. So you're going to see a lot of guys sign out of indie ball, or maybe even, you know, just not get drafted in the first 20 rounds. You need to fill your rosters. Maybe need an extra arm that scouts really excited about. So you'll see guys like that get picked up.
Swing and a miss. Good looking breaking ball from Venaro. He strikes out Garcia. And we will head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Brewers trail by 3. Oh. Good old fashioned house divided right there. Mom, Brewers fan. Dad, Rangers fan. Kid, right now, sporting a Rangers shirt. House divided. 3-run lead for the Rangers right now. Nap time with the boots on. Those are good-looking boots, though.
Yeah, trying to get a little sun with long-sleeve sweaters on, I guess.
Mind your little brother there who's taking a nap. Get off me, man. Leave me alone. I'm trying to take a nap. Fernario Ozuna takes over for Texas.
Yeah, 48 games last year for Ozuna, 4.91 ERA and 62 1/3, punched out 73. They say he's got like an airbender type of changeup, so we'll take a look at that. There it was at 86.
Pretty good changeup. I mean, if you're going to get to airbender status, right. I mean, the bar is pretty high.
There's only one airbender, let's be honest.
Pretty good changeup. 1-1 on Henry Mendez. It's fun to see pitchers try and replicate that changeup from Devin Williams.
I can't imagine that pitch will ever be replicated. Just the way that he throws it, the amount of spin that he gets on it. It's like a screwball. Amazing pitch.
Backs it up with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, does Ozuna. Mendez uses his timeout, gather himself. The RPMs that Devin Williams is able to get off of his pinky. Incredible.
It's incredible.
There's strike 3 called, late call from the home plate umpire. Check it out on this change.
Yeah, it'll change. Good looking changeup from Ozuna off the plate, I think, and down. That was a your number is in the 90s call in spring training right there.
John Singleton, infield single in his first plate appearance.
And you know what I mean by that, Jeff. Whenever an umpire sees someone's number in the 90s, they typically expand the zone a little bit.
Don't tell that to Jesus Aguilar, who's wearing number 99 now for Oakland.
Yeah, unless you're established, I suppose. But
yep. Name on the back of the jersey.
That matters.
Singleton channeling his inner Eric Thames with the beard, it looks like. Eric Thames, I saw officially retired. Signed his papers maybe last week.
He's a good Brewer. Fun to watch. High energy guy.
Ozuna issues the walk, and Monte Harrison will hit. Thames had some big moments for the Brewers, hitting home runs, bringing that energy every day.
That was a really good sign by the front office of the Brewers. Came over from the KBO, played for the NC Dinos. Did Eric Thames. Brewers signed him. He was productive. Good clubhouse guy as well.
And Rowdy Tellez was flirting with that practice field a couple of days ago with the blast he hit. Thames would pretty routinely hit balls into that practice field.
Oh yeah, big power.
Harrison back with the Brewers organization after being traded in January of 18 to the Marlins. One and two on Harrison. Just a supreme athlete.
Unbelievable athlete. Saw him play in Carolina. You could understand why he was a big part of that Christian Yelich deal before the 2018 season, because my goodness, you thought this kid was a can't miss. A little bit too much swing and miss in his game though.
Right there on the changeup for Monte Harrison, 2 away for Navarretto.
Catcher number 75, Ryan Navarretto.
Well, 2 away, runner on. Vinny, it's been a pleasure having you up here, by the way, for the last couple games.
Hey Jeff, this has been a lot of fun.
Spring training a little bit different than the regular season games.
Yeah. No, it is. We're still doing our thing up here, though. This has been a blast. It's always a pleasure working with you, Jeff.
Likewise. I marvel at your notes. You come into every single game and you've got these manila envelopes filled with blank pieces of paper, filled with the smallest handwriting I've ever seen in my life.
You know, I surprised myself. I didn't go to these that often.
Because you wrote it down and you remembered it,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I think that's what it was.
And just as long as you know where it is at any given moment, it's your resource. Make a play, Vinny. Come on, it's coming hot. Oh, just out of your reach. Didn't even reach for it. It's because the window's
fly
closed.
ball. That wasn't coming to us.
Window's closed. Had a shot. Dom he was going to dive for it. thought better of it. Good business decision. Ground ball to short. Acuna goes the short way to retire the side and end the ball game. 7-4 Texas here at American Family Fields. Vinny, it was a pleasure working with you. Look forward to doing it in the regular season.
Yeah, likewise. I can't wait for the regular season. This is going to be a good Brewers ball club. Even though they lost today, a lot of fun watching this club, different pieces. Been a pleasure, Jeff. Thanks.
Good takeaway. Corbin Burns outstanding today.
Outstanding job by Corbin. Quick 2 innings. Goes out, back out for the third, get a little bit more work in. He looked sharp. He looked good. Also, like Eric Brown Jr., that was a good look from him.
Yeah, nice day today for Eric Brown Jr. at short after he came in for Willie Adames. Christian Yelich hit a home run to get it going. Saw a little bit of everything today at the ballpark. We'll come your way again this weekend on Bally Sports Wisconsin against Seattle. For now, it was Texas over the Brewers by a final of 7-4. For Marty Tarr, our producer and director, and our entire crew, for Vinny Rotino, Sophia Minert, I'm Jeff Levering saying so long. Have a great rest of your Thursday, everybody. We'll talk to you this weekend right here in Phoenix.